Video 11. The 4 aspects of prana. When we go about focusing on the breath, we can observe prana in 3 specific forms. We can experience and observe prana in the form of the inhalation and in the form of the exhalation. We can also observe and experience prana in the form of the transition or the interval which occurs between inhalation and exhalation. So this is prana expressing in its more obvious gross form, and we can pay attention to it. But as we pay attention to it, as we pay attention to the inhalation, the interval which occurs before the exhalation, and the interval which occurs before the inhalation, and we continue in this manner, we will find that our attention becomes more absorbed in the process. And as it becomes more absorbed in the process, we will be drawn further inward. And as we're drawn further inward, we'll no longer be paying attention to the breath in terms of its external movement, in terms of the inhalation, the transition, and the exhalation. It'll be more about the flow of current as it's moving through the body. Now, this is not easy to explain in words, so we can use the metaphor where we talk about the water on the shores of a beach, where the current draws the tide, draws the water up onto the shoreline, then there's a slight pause, and then the tide draws the water back out into the ocean again. And there's this movement which we can observe on the surface of the water as it comes up onto the shoreline, pauses, and then retreats once again. And it's the same, we can observe our breathing in the same manner. But if we move out into the ocean, and particularly in the depths of the water, we can't observe that movement of the current upwards and back again. It's more like a very subtle movement of current. And this is what happens when we use our breath as a means to observing prana and the movement of prana. So initially we're observing inhalation, transition, and exhalation, but as we continue, we'll find that our attention becomes internalized and we're no longer so focused on the external movements and how it's changing our physiology. We're more attuned to that inner current which is moving within us. And initially, this may be connected to inhalation and exhalation. But as more and more attention is given to the current, the subtle current itself, then that's where our attention becomes absorbed. And so we experience the 4th aspect of prana, which is prana as it expresses on a subtle level. And through this, we are able to move into the experience of pratyahara, the internalization of our attention.